Jesus has been known to make some shocking statements, but this one almost certainly would have to take the cake. The whole conversation starts out on a high note. Jesus asks his closest followers, the people who know him better than anyone, what they've concluded by now about who he is. And Peter is the first to risk saying it out loud. Jesus isn't just a good moral teacher. He's not just another prophet performing miracles. Jesus is the rescuer that they've all been praying that God would send to rescue them from evil and oppression and lead them into freedom. This is a huge moment. The unspoken hopes have finally been stated out loud. And Jesus accepts the identification. He is the rescuer they've been waiting for. But then, with that mind-blowing discovery still hanging in the air, Jesus says to them, "Don't tell anyone else this. I've got to suffer terribly, be rejected, and be killed." This is just awkward. Jesus, doesn't that sort of contradict what we all just agreed upon about you? The rescuer is the one God has given power to win the battle against evil. And what you just described, that sounds a lot like losing. Jesus responds, "Hold my grape juice for a second." Then he steps out of the house to address the crowds, which have literally never been bigger. And he says to all of them, "I have an announcement. If anyone wants to follow me from here, there is one essential condition. You must deny yourself, take up your cross daily, and follow me to death." Say what? Just so we're tracking here, crucifixion was the cruelest form of Roman capital punishment. It was designed to maximize pain and humiliation. You carry a cross just before they kill you on it. It's like Jesus had just said, "Attention everyone, if you want to be a part of my movement, you'll have to bring your own electric chair and expect to sit on it every day." It's gruesome and shocking and outrageously offensive. What could Jesus even mean by saying it? Well, at the start of a war, a country's leader will often make a predictable speech. He'll tell his citizens that evil is threatening to destroy all that's good in the world. He'll tell them that overcoming that evil will take collective courage and sacrifice. The speech that Jesus just made is a version of that speech. He's spoken before of his belief, that's shared by this crowd listening, that the world is under occupation by evil. He's admitted to his disciples that he's the leader God has appointed to drive that evil out. He's also informed them that he intends to be on the front line of the battle, the first to bleed and sacrifice. As far as that goes, it's really not that surprising. Almost any wartime leader will admit that defeating evil will require great courage and sacrifice. But one part of what Jesus says isn't normal at all. He's just announced that this struggle against evil will have a 100% guaranteed casualty rate for the good guys. Normal leaders of wars against evil don't recruit people to die, they recruit people to kill. Dying only happens accidentally, when the killing isn't fast enough. But Jesus says he's only taking on people who expect to lose their lives, because in the battle he is about to wage against evil, dying isn't an accident, it's the strategy. The only victors will be the ones who willingly lay down their lives. If that sounds confusing to you, even crazy, that's totally okay. It sounded nuts to Jesus' first disciples too. They didn't have a clue what he was talking about until much later in the story. We'll discover what he meant alongside them. But for now, we can flag at least two key things that Jesus seems to be suggesting. First, the disciples are right to conclude that Jesus was sent by God to rescue the world from evil. But the battle won't be won the way that anyone predicted. Human beings have always tried to overcome evil by powering over the top of it, killing the bad guys off. The trouble is, evil grows two heads for every one we cut off. Every time we mow it down, it grows back even stronger. Jesus knows there's only one way to defeat evil completely. He'll overcome evil forever by refusing to fight on its terms. Jesus plans to win the battle by willingly laying down his life for his opponents and his haters. The only force in the universe strong enough to put evil down forever is the power of perfect, others-oriented, self-sacrificial love. Love is the only weapon evil has no defense against. Jesus also makes it clear that being his follower means signing on to his struggle against evil. Every single follower has a role to play. And though the fields will look different, in the end, every person will be asked for some version of the same thing, to spend their lives on small daily acts of self-giving love. not just for their friends, but for their enemies and opponents. A little daily dying so that others can live. Sacrificial love isn't a part of Jesus' following. According to Jesus, it's what following him is. It's what it looks like to participate in Jesus' victory over evil. The only way to overcome evil, the only way to be on the winning side of history's greatest struggle, the only way to hold on to our own souls in the war, is to give ourselves away in big acts or small acts of others-centered love. Try to avoid this. Try to take any other path, and we'll end up playing for the wrong side, allied with the very evil that Jesus has come to drive out. Let's read the story in Luke 9, beginning in verse 18. One day Jesus left the crowds to pray alone. Only his disciples were with him, and he asked them, "Who do people say that I am?" "Well," they replied, "some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say you are one of the other ancient prophets risen from the dead." Then he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter replied, "You are the Messiah sent from God." Jesus warned his disciples not to tell anyone who he was. "The Son of Man must suffer many terrible things," he said. "He'll be rejected by the elders, the leading priests, and the teachers of religious law. He will be killed, but on the third day he will be raised from the dead." Then he said to the crowd, "If any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way, take up your cross daily, and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but are yourself lost or destroyed? If anyone is ashamed of me and my message, the Son of Man will be ashamed of that person when he returns in his glory and in the glory of the Father and the holy angels. I tell you the truth, some standing here right now will not die before they see the kingdom of God." I'm Meghan Good, and this has been Reading Jesus. If you'd like a guide to assist you with your own reflection or discussion with others, you can go to patreon.com/JesusCollectiveCommunity and look for the Luke 9 post where the guide is included. Thanks so much for joining me for a few minutes in Luke, and I'll see you next time.